Life to Love Healthy Conscious Podcast.
Welcome, dear friends, to this 9th episode of Life to Love. And today, the magic number 9. If you know the Beatles song, Revolution 9, really funny song. Today, I visited a special bear park. There were also wolves, and if you know the name of the big wild European cat, I'll keep it mystical. But yeah, there were bears. Basically, it's a park where the bears are really they're trying to let the bear have as much of a natural life as possible. Of course, the best would be freedom, but these bears have behavior and patterns and are apparently not to be released in the wild again. And then at least, rather than ending up somewhere, in a zoo or stuff like this, they have created this park, and this is where I saw bears today, and I want to talk about this animal with you guys, as it's really strongly shamanically connected in the northern hemisphere, because the bear is the king of the northern forest. It's basically the lion or the big cat in the southern hemisphere, and I want to talk about why this bear is so important for our shamanic culture and what healing it can bring. So where do we start? The bear is the king of the forest. It can literally walk to a freshly hunted deer from a wolf pack and just grab a bite, just trotting along, chilling and just grabbing a bite, because it's so powerful, not even a wolf pack can cope with the strength of a bear. And this is why apparently North American shamans also said the medicine of the bear is so powerful that you really have to be also prepared and strong enough to hold it, because the claws of the bear can also just knock you over, because the medicine is so powerful. And they say every animal has its own medicine, and it brings a certain quality, and the bear medicine is really strong, super potent, baby, potent. Yes, it's strong medicine, and also the bear knows a lot of medicine, and this is, I think, why it's so shamanically important, because it knows a lot about the plant and medicinal roots of the forest, and probably also mushrooms. So bears are actually 80% vegetarians, and people have seen bears digging up certain roots and chewing them, putting them on their wounds. And when the bear comes out of the winter hibernation, the winter sleep, it first knows to eat sort of cleansing herbs to cleanse the stagnation out of their body, and then it eats vital herbs, and it knows everything about herbs, similar like the stag. And a lot of ethnobotanists and ethnobotanists have wondered how did the humans gather all of this knowledge about, and wisdom as well, about plants and healing mushrooms. And first there was a theory that it was just trial and error, you know, like people were just trying out everything that nature provided, and you know, then a guy comes home like vomiting, and people were like, "What did you eat?" And he was like, "I don't know," and you know, trial and error kind of thing. But really, I think the more logical and connected approach is that we as humans actually learned about what plants are healing for what from the animals. And the bear was a really central one because it has this really profound medicinal knowledge about, yeah, about the healing herbs. And this is why it's really, really, really important in the shamanic culture and connected to this. Of course, also the stag has also got this quality, you know, and reindeers are digging up fly agaric mushrooms from under the snow, and they're drinking the reindeer urine, which have been eating the mushroom, the Amanita muscaria. But I don't know actually if bears are super fast on mushrooms. I mean, even psychedelic mushrooms, I would be really interested in finding, digging more into this. But coming back to the bear and the mythology, obviously there's a really big feminine power in the bear because it's this beautiful feminine Mother Earth worship, and the bear goes into the cave like in the womb in the winter and returns with young. And this for me is such a beautiful like sign of nature, and literally just sleeps throughout the dark time. And I think it reduces its breath like one breath a minute or something. And I like think what was it 8 heartbeats a minute? Definitely reduces all the yeah all the body to the minimum, and can just sleep for so many months of the year, almost half a year, and then returns with the young, and it's really special. And yeah, I reckon for the shamanic healers or the healing person of our ancestors, the bear was always a really, really important being. And I think we also back in the day shared maybe caves, you know, in this big cave in France, where they found all of these ancient paintings, like 30,000 years old, the Chauvet cave. If you haven't heard about it, you have to check out the Chauvet paintings. And I think they also saw like bear marks on the cave, and I don't know if they lived the same time with the bear in the cave, but because a lot of people were living in the entrance of caves and mainly using the caves as a sacred place of connection and trance and meditation and rituals and art. A shaman would go into the cave, for instance, and communicate to the natural spirits, the animal spirits, and so they shared probably also these caves with bears. At least they would know, you know, this animal really, really well. And I mean, look how many flags, for instance, in Germany are still packed with the bear, and we say hunger like a bear, you know, and we have all of these sayings and Meister Pets and the color gold and all of these beautiful beings. I mean, words which are connected to the bear. And the bear is like also like just such a sun being. It loves honey. It loves. I think it's like really powerful, but also has this sort of relaxedness about the character of a bear. And I feel like it's really important that we gain trust again. And of course, it's a really funny time we're living in, you know, like there was this bear Bruno in 2006 who came back to Germany, and everybody was like, hooray, the bear is back. But because there was like this bear family in the back of a hotel in Austria, and I think people in the hotel were like feeding them food from a really early age, and this young brown bear then learned in the like development phase that humans connected to food, and they give you food. and this is why then later on he didn't make, he wasn't shy or something and just then categorized as a problem bear and then shot. And I think it's really important that we just sort of put the focus on the wildness, and I think it's just about balancing, how are we living with creatures like this in peace. And really, I think for the soul of humanity and Europeans, if you feel the spirit of an animal like this in the forest, the medicine and the healing of this animal is with us again. And I pray for this day. Also the wolves are slowly coming back to Europe, and they're so important to regulate the wildlife, and the bear also just has this role, but it also has this massive shamanic healing role. And yeah, I have a feeling, even in countries like Romania and Canada, they're living with the bear, and I think it's just about to gain trust again, and slowly but surely maintaining peace and just respect each other. I think this is the best way in the natural world. You just generally respect each other, and I wonder what journey is ahead now here in Europe, especially now I'm talking from the German perspective. What the journey will be like. But I hope to see them slowly coming back and living, as wild as they can. There is hardly, this wildness, like, for instance, in Canada or places where the bear still really thrives. But I think in certain zones, like Germany, for instance, there's so much forest still, and if the wolves make it, the bear could also make it, and the wild cat and the bigger cat. Yeah, of course it's important to also then, if a bear has, maybe too close to the humans, it could also be, of course, dangerous. Of course, there's sort of a line, but I think if I would be a bear, a bear would have to forgive the humans a lot for shooting them all down like we did. So I think healing is necessary to restore a healing relationship with this beautiful animal and the king of the forest. Man, be humble to the bear.